What the hell is going on here? Hello Whovians, and welcome back to another Doctor Who YouTube video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 3rd 60th anniversary special, The Giggle, which was aired today on December 9th, 2023. So I'm going to be running through the episode chronologically just so I can kind of gather my thoughts, because that was a crazy episode which I absolutely loved. So we start off in Soho 1925, where a man walks into a toy shop to buy a puppet, which we come to realise is Stooky Bill, who was used a little bit further on in the episode. And this is where we're first introduced to the toy maker. Now, this I thought was a perfect opening for the episode. It really kind of showed the kind of creepiness of the toy maker, but also I really appreciate that they showed that this toy maker is not a likeable character. They had that moment where the toy maker was essentially being racist to the customer, saying obviously where you're from it's not usually raining, which just that subtle line, the moment I saw it I was like, this guy is an absolute knob. So well done for that kind of writing, and I think those little kind of moments in writing are really important to showcase how people kind of use that language towards people, and they mean it horribly, but some people might not even notice it. Which is a complete shame, and it's horrible that people experience this. But yeah, so the toy maker is super creepy, and obviously the guy walks out and ends up going to see John Logie Beard, who is the person who basically uses Stooky Bill to be the first kind of puppet or first thing on live television. And I thought this scene was really cool as well, because it started going up in flames, the puppet did, and I didn't know whether or not that happened in real life, and if it did then I had no idea about that. But I really liked how it was kind of going up in flames, and if that was to do with the toy maker then great. Maybe it was kind of to foreshadow the destruction that the toy maker is going to be bringing. I don't know, but yeah, I really liked that scene. We're then thrown into the scene with the Doctor basically meeting the toy maker for the first time. Obviously he doesn't realise it's for the first time at that point, but the toy maker's dancing with him in the street, and unfortunately obviously we didn't get Wilf in this moment. It was an actor who was basically doubling in for Wilf, and they used a little clip from, I think it was The Poison Sky, where Wilf basically tells Donna to go with the Doctor, and I thought using that was really nice, just that little line to kind of use him there still, and obviously he wasn't used in the way that they wanted to for this episode, so it was a really nice tribute, I guess, to Bernard Cribbins there. The Doctor and Donna then get swooped up by UNIT, and we are then shown the incredible shot of the TARDIS being lifted by a helicopter to the incredible massive UNIT tower. And doesn't it look incredible? This episode looks so good, and I know I mentioned in a previous video that the Disney money doesn't properly kick in until Shooty's era, or that, you know, the next season. It just looks really cool, doesn't it? If they did use some of the money from Disney for this, then I don't hate them for it, because it looks incredible. But if not, if this is just BBC money, that looks so good. So yeah, the Doctor and Donna land on the UNIT tower, and they're thrown into the kind of swing of things and gets introduced to everyone. And then the Doctor bumps into Mel, which was such a lovely moment. Bonnie is such a great actress. She's so good in this, and I can't wait to see more of her, which is really fortunate that we get to know that she is coming back for future episodes. We then come across the Vlinks, which is this sort of robot thing, which is helping UNIT. It's kind of like a robot AI sort of thing that's helping them navigate what the hell's going on. And I really liked this character. We didn't see much of it, but I really enjoy it, and I really hope we get to see it used in future. If not in future Doctor Who, hopefully in a UNIT spin-off. Fingers crossed that actually happens, and we can see more of the Vlinks, because I thought it was a really cool character. And it's one of those things where it's a robot that is kind of utilised for the benefit of the human race, or, you know, for us to not have to do as much, right, as a human race. But it's one of those sort of robots where you kind of expect it to turn evil. It's got blue lights. I'm expecting it to have red lights at some point and turn evil like Mrs. Smith did in Sarah Jane Adventures. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being a bit sceptical, because robots are just bound to go creepy and freaky, aren't they? So the Vlink created the Z-Dex, which is the kind of armband that goes onto the humans that basically stop them from going crazy or kind of being manifested by their brains. And the moment I loved was they had the kind of Prime Minister or someone from the government in a shot where he's going crazy on the screen, and he says, "Why should I care?" And Donna was like, "No change there then." And I think that is just so kind of relevant to the government right now, because the Tories are absolutely useless and horrible. So yeah, glad that was kind of shown on there. We then get a lovely cameo from Trinity Wells, who was a kind of broadcaster, news anchor sort of person in Russell T Davies' first era, and I just loved how she had a cameo here. I hope she's in the new series as well, because just seeing her face, it was like being back in 2006. It was just so fun. We then get a demonstration from Kate Stewart with the Z-Dex, or taking it off. I think it's called the Z-Dex. I hope I'm getting that right. Anyway, Kate Stewart shows us an example of what it's like for humans who don't have this on. And basically she goes back crazy and starts basically being ableist towards Shirley Ann Bingham, saying, "You don't need a wheelchair. I've seen you walk in a wheelchair," and just going crazy, like mad sort of kind of like, what they call conspiracy theorist vibes. And it's like a very subtle tone, isn't there, in this writing to kind of suggest that the sort of modern era of the humanity in the 21st century are people that are just kind of so entitled and so opinionated and so kind of problematic. And humans are humans' worst enemy, I think. You know, we could have a spaceship above us and try and shoot us all and kill us, but humans are still going to try and shoot and kill themselves. It's just so true, but also so brutal. Donna then figures out that the wave of this sort of giggle mania sort of thing, the energy that is basically being kind of transmitted in the humans' brains, I think that's right, is an arpeggio on a musical scale. And we realise that this is kind of the toy maker's laugh that was implemented within the first televised footage to basically be broadcasted on TV. Such a long-winded way of going about that. And essentially, because of that, it's also been embedded into all kind of screens and media and everything that you see. So humans have basically adopted this their entire lives, and it's basically now just basically kicking off. It's just been ignited, so everyone's going super duper crazy. And they realise that to kind of eliminate this, they think that there's a satellite in the sky that they need to kind of shoot and get down, as they need to use this transmatic beam, which is used later on, sadly. Kind of. Shooting a little bit forward, there was a really funny scene, or a little funny moment, where Kate Lethbridge-Stewart is talking to Donna, and she says, "Oh yeah, come work for us." And Donna's like, "What's the salary?" And she says, "60,000. And Donna says, 120,000 and 5 weeks holiday. And Kate's like, "Okay." And Donna's like, "Get in." And I love that. Go on, Donna. Go get that dollar. So they realise that this was embedded in 1925 on the first television broadcast, and the Doctor and Donna end up going back to 1925 to try and resolve this. And they come across the shop that Stooky Bill was first purchased. So they walk in, and we have this incredible, fantastic scene with the toy maker, with Neil Patrick Harris, David Tennant, Catherine Tate, where Neil Patrick Harris is throwing the balls, David Tennant's catching them, and we realise that it's the Celestial Toy Maker. And obviously we've got those little flashbacks as well. There's really cool flashbacks where we've got the old actor from back in the 60s and William Hartnell as well. And I loved that kind of flashback, and they were in colour and they looked so fantastic. I really did enjoy that. Then the toy maker disappears, and Doctor and Donna then try and chase after him, and they realise that they're stuck in a massive corridor. Not like the one from last week, but yeah, they're stuck in a massive corridor. And during this, obviously, they're trying to find the right route, but the Doctor basically starts beating himself up and starts thinking that everything's his fault. He's like, "I'm useless. You know, I've got a Sonic, I've got a TARDIS. What am I without that? I'm just me. I'm useless." And Donna basically says, "You're not useless." And the Doctor says, "Well, I might not be able to save you this time." And Donna's like, "But you will. And it's fine, you know, we've got this." Boss ass energy. The Doctor and Donna then get split up, and the Doctor ends up in a room with the guy from the first scene who buys the puppet, and in there he's being kind of hung up on a wall, and the Doctor pulls him off and realises that he is actually a puppet. And there's that scene with the toy maker with the strings, and he's kind of being controlled. That was so cool. CGI was a little dodgy, but I'm going to forgive it. I mean, I always do forgive dodgy CGI. I mean, it's CGI, isn't, you know, what else can you do about it? Maybe in the future when Doctor Who really is pumping in the Disney money, we'll see if that kind of goes to show on the show itself. But yeah, so this creepy puppet guy, he's like, help me, and then he ends up getting tormented because he's got his own face on it, so the Doctor runs away. We then get the scene with Donna and the creepy, freaky wife of Stooky Bill. She was actually freaky, but I love her. She's got such camp energy, but she's just so cool as well, even though she's creepy. I'm a lover of like little kind of like things, like you can get like a bottle of shampoo, and then you can get like the miniature bottle of shampoo. I love the little cuteness of like a little bottle of shampoo, or like a small version of something. Or I love animals, and I like just their cute little faces. And I don't know why, but like these little puppets are so cute. Not the baby ones so much, they're freaky, but this little cutie patootie, I've said that in 3 videos now, cutie patootie puppet, I'm going to forgive her evilness, but Donna whacks her head on the wall and basically decapitates her, and fair play. We're then thrown into this scene with the Doctor, Donna, the toy maker again, and the kind of grand stage sort of puppet show sort of thing, where the toy maker shows Donna all the lives, or all the situations that each companion is now in due to the Doctor. So we have Amy Pond, we have Clara, we have Bill, and they all die, or, you know, the Doctor kind of says, well, they're not all dead, they're all kind of living in a different conscience. Or Amy was obviously living to an older age, but still she got sent to that death essentially and living that life because of him. And Donna's kind of like, is that true? Doctor doesn't want to talk about it. He's like, this is too much trauma for me right now. So he challenges the toy maker to a game, and lo and behold, they're sat at a desk, and the Doctor loses the card game basically. And there's that moment as well with the teeth where the toy maker smiles and he says that the master is stuck in his gold tooth, which I'm sure will come up at some point, and we find out later in the episode as well that there's going to probably be something from that as well. Basically, the toy maker says, not right now, we're going to jump into 2023 because the Doctor basically says, I want a round of 3 because I beat you the first time, you beat me now, it's now time to, you know, do a round 3, we're even. Toy maker goes, okay, not now in 2023. So the building basically just turns into a box, or falls into a box after Doctor and Donna have escaped. Sorry, my mind's a bit all over the place because this episode is just kind of crazy. We have the hilarious scene next where the Spice Girls song comes on. La 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 la. Thought that was such a cool, camp, funny moment. I love how the petals were shooting out of the guns instead of the bullets. And he was dancing around with Kate and Mel. Fun, camp, love it. He turns some unit soldiers into bouncy balls, which wasn't so nice, but still a great visual. Sorry, you sacrificed your lives to give us great visuals. Then, obviously, the toy maker disappears and we hear a little ding 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 from outside by the gun. And I think earlier on in the episode, I might have missed it, but they shot down the satellite, and the Doctor basically said the satellite wasn't the whole problem, it was part of the problem. It's being kind of broadcast to everyone, but it's part of the problem. The toy maker is basically this massive thing that we've got to fight. The toy maker's obviously on the gun, isn't he? And he's threatening to basically kill basically everything and shoot. He's starting to play games, he's aiming at people, shooting at people's feet to make them jump around, and in the end, he shoots the Doctor straight through the heart, or the chest, or the stomach, or... yeah. I remember seeing it, I actually gasped, because we kind of had that similarly in The Power of the Doctor with Jodie's Doctor, and her being kind of killed by a laser beam. And I don't know what else I expected from this moment. Like, I knew that he was going to be killed, and most likely with the beam, but it just kind of happened out of nowhere. Yeah, really liked that scene, as much as it pains me to see David kind of disappear again, or, you know, have to go through that suffering. We then come to the regeneration, and unfortunately for me, I have seen leaks that kind of ruined this for me prior to going in. And I now swear to myself that I'm never going to read a leak again, because this particular leak that I read spoiled the Star Beast. It didn't spoil the Wild Blue Yonder, but it also spoiled this episode, and it spoiled the Christmas special, because everything that we know about the Christmas special has been confirmed by the leak that came out months ago, and everything that happened in the Star Beast was in that leak, and everything that happened in the Giggle was in this leak, which is just stupid and annoying. And I really wish that these people wouldn't do it. Theorising is fine, you know, or like a little thing here and there, but spoiling whole episodes, it's just not fair. I don't want it to be ruined. I want to be kind of like, I want to theorise and be right about something, but not to the point where I actually know what's going to happen. I hate that. Off. Leave us alone. Leave me alone. But yeah, so we have the bi-regeneration, and David Tennant regenerates into Ncuti Gatwa, and they're together, and they're being pulled apart, and it's so cool. And Ncuti, oh my god, love you, love you, love you. So incredible. Even from the first line, I was like, this is the Doctor. I just love him. He's so cool. He's such a great actor, and absolutely the right Doctor. I know I'm saying that very early on, but I just knew from the moment that I saw him, I just knew that he was the Doctor. But yeah, so we have that fun moment where they're throwing balls. It's the first game that the toy maker mentions, and the Doctor suggests that they play ball, so they're basically trying to catch ball. It's a really cool scene where they're running around and they're throwing balls at each other, or a ball at each other. And then the toy maker obviously misses it. So the Doctor says, "Bye-bye, toy maker. Off you go. Get in your box." He folds up and he goes into a box. But his golden tooth falls out, which we'll talk about a little bit in a minute. And I really like how Ncuti was there to comfort David. Having this bi-regeneration, my thoughts on this is, I've known about this for a while, and it was kind of one of those things where I wasn't really that kind of keen on the idea, and I thought I need to watch it for it to kind of make sense to me. Now, I'm still not sure what I feel about it. It's cool, it's great, it's a new thing, like we have never had this before. And the only thing I can kind of think of, and the thing that is making me more inclined to like it, is if I was a kid watching this for the first time, you know, I watched David Tennant regenerate when I was 9 or 10, and if it had happened when I was 9 or 10, I wouldn't have been like, I'm not sure about this. It's never been done before and stuff like that. But as a kid, I would have loved it and I would have accepted it. And actually, I accept it now because it's Doctor Who. Nothing's ever going to be done the same. You know, David Tennant's regeneration from Jodie was never done before. We've never gone back to a Doctor like that. So why not end his Doctor like this as well? Yeah, really cool idea. It'll take a while for it to settle in, but kid me loves it. We then have a moment where a hand comes and picks up the golden tooth, just like how a hand picked out the ring episode where the Doctor defeats the Master the first time in Series 3. And that parallel, that's going to come up at some point, isn't it? We all know that. And also the toy maker's box being buried in salt in a vault. He's got to be back at some point as well. Maybe not as Neil Patrick Harris, but at some point. Even if it's the end of Ncuti's, like, say Ncuti stays on for like 700 years. 7 years, you know. He'll come back, won't he? We can just see it happening. We Doctor Who fans know what's going on. So, we then have the moment where Ncuti, Doctor, and Catherine, I'm calling them all by their actual names now. My head's just melted at the moment. Yeah, and they have a whole conversation about the Doctor not knowing what to do because he's never travelled with himself before, a new incarnation. And Donna suggests staying with her, and he's like, yeah, but no, but. Yeah, but no, but. Ncuti's Doctor basically says, yeah, that can't happen. He can't live without the TARDIS, and he thinks, oh my god, I know what I'm going to do. And he's like, use this realm that the toy maker has left for the few moments that it's still here, and gets a massive mallet and whacks another TARDIS out. Was that on your bingo card? Unless you read the leak, was that on your bingo card for Doctor Who the Google this year? I don't think so. I don't know how I feel about just whacking out another TARDIS, but I love how the Doctor gets to keep another TARDIS, and they get a TARDIS each. I don't know if that's a good thing. Is it a bad thing? I really don't know right now. This is just my first general thoughts, but yeah, I like that they've both got a TARDIS. I just don't know how I feel about the fact that they've both got a TARDIS. I don't know. Ncuti's Doctor then tries to run away, and David Tennant's Doctor's like, no, you can't leave. And basically says, you're going to go without saying goodbye. And he's like, no, never. But I've got travelling to do, so please, off you go. There's a lovely moment where Ncuti salutes and David Tennant salutes back with his typical kind of one finger salute. Absolutely love that. We then have the scene where the Doctor is eating a meal with the Noble family and Mel. Wilf is obviously off shooting moles, which are protected by a force field because the Doctor loves moles. And it's just really nice to see him in that family dynamic. I don't know how I feel right now about the fact that the Doctor's kind of based on Earth. And also there's the whole question of, like, can he regenerate again? We don't know. Guess we'll have to find out. Or maybe we'll never find out. Or maybe it's confirmed by the time this video is out and I just missed it, or I've missed a reference. Or maybe we already know. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I really like how the Doctor's kind of got a family now. And how Rose technically has already gone to Mars. And the Doctor's like, you're in trouble. And Mel's already travelled with him too. But he's grounded and he's got a family now, and he realised that his face came back because he came home. And I'm not going to lie, I nearly cried at that scene. This is a surprising episode that I haven't cried at, to be honest, because I didn't cry at all during these last 3 episodes. And I'm normally one of those people that, especially during Doctor Who, I'll cry at anything. God, I'm a baby when it comes to TV. I cried watching the commentary of the Star Beast, not the actual episode. I feel like it's one of those things where, like, the commentary kind of like amped it up a bit. Yeah, but this scene probably would make me cry on a rewatch. I don't know. There was no like gut punch in this episode. You know what I mean? But it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and we ended up with the end shot with Ncuti flying off and saying upcoming Christmas special, basically. And we had the title sequence at the end saying introducing Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor. Love it. Oh, I could go on forever about my thoughts about this episode, but if I do, you'll be here watching this for hours, and I can guarantee this video will get no views if I upload it with a 4-hour timestamp. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm probably going to give it a 9 out of 10, which is weird for me because I feel like I enjoyed this more than Wild Blue Yonder, but there's just a few things that I need to rewatch and iron out in my brain and get over in terms of canon and lore and all that spiel to truly appreciate what's gone on for the past hour that I've just watched. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm probably going to give it a 9 out of 10. What did you think about the episode? Please do let me know. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing a review of the Christmas special trailer as well that came out straight after the episode. Looks so good. I'm so excited. Ncuti's Doctor is going to be amazing. I can tell already. But yes, I'll save all that energy for the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.